This right here is the best Bronco to buy. I'm going to include a link to the Tim Daly Ford's website in the description down below. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get right into the review. Powering this is a turbo 2.3 liter 4-cylinder that goes through a 10-speed. This has a 4.46 axle ratio. Fuel economy is 18 around town, 22 on the highway, with power outputs being about 300 horsepower and then 325 pound-feet of torque. I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year, so I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. First off, this is finished in the new Marsh Gray color, and you probably noticed the mirrors are attached to the body, which is cool. This has the more baseline lights that are still really bright, actually. White Bronco logo there in the center. We've got fog lights, upgraded bumper with this package, and recovery points. So far this thing is looking pretty solid, especially considering it's got upgraded bumpers. Our tire and wheel setup is 265 by 70 by 17. You can see that the wheels are completely blacked out there in the center, have that kind of like chunky off-road spoke design. This has the base Bronco shocks, so no Bilsteins or Fox or anything like that. Got these big fender flares here, Big Bend logo there on the side. This also has rock rail protection from the factory. And I think the proportions are really solid. You notice this one also has the hard top. It is unpainted. When it comes to the key fob here, we've got the Bronco logo. We have our lock and unlock function, remote start as well. You actually have keyless entry on the rear swing gate. It does have hydraulic assist. Now the cargo space in the Bronco is quite impressive for a convertible SUV. Got a 12 volt back here, and then this has the painted cage as well. And the floor in here is going to be easier to clean, which is a really nice feature, and there is a little bit of storage underneath the floor too. We do have the more baseline tail lights, but guess what? Even the rear bumper is upgraded. It's got a recovery point too. And we of course have the spare tire mounted on the back. So putting it all together, finishing this Marsh Gray, this is a cool looking rig. But let's pop inside. A nice soft touch trim here on the top of the door panel, and then you can see a little storage netting. Pretty cool with the seats. They are vinyl, which is easy to clean. And this has the nice drainable floors that are also easy to clean. Legroom back here is solid. We got another little storage net. Window controls and vents here in the back as well. We also have some little charge ports down below. And with that boxy design, headroom back here is good. Let's now pop up front. We've got more of that soft touch trim down below, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. We've got 1,138 pounds of payload capacity, and this vehicle actually weighs less than 5,000 pounds. More nice stitching here on the front seats. The front seat is manually adjustable. More of that drainable storage up front, and then we've got all of our light controls here off to the side, and then you've got this nice grab handle on the side too. Let's now start it up. Nice kind of like rugged feeling, soft touch trim all around the steering wheel with the Bronco horse in the center. Voice command, phone controls, and controls for the center stack on the right side. We've got our cruise control and volume controls on the left. And taking a look at the center screen, it's fully digital. It's customizable in terms of the information that you can display here in the center screen. And not only that, this is where the GOAT modes will pop up. You've got a bunch of different modes for both on-road and, more specifically, more excitingly, off-road use. Storage here on the dash, including a little USB port. This comes with the rear locking differential, trail turn assist, and stability control up top. We've got a regular backup camera in reverse with really good resolution. As for the infotainment system itself, we've got a shortcut bar here at the bottom. You've got this auxiliary tab, which you can use to scroll through and change the information that's displayed. Analog controls for the radio, also for the climate. This has dual zone climate as well as heated seats. A little bit of storage, and I guess we'll call this a charging area up front. Shifter for the 10-speed does have a manual function. That's why you got the plus and minus there on the side. You've got our GOAT mode select, so you twist that to change the drive modes. And then you notice this is a part-time four-wheel drive system, but it does have four-wheel auto as well as Ford's off-road cruise control system. 4 window switches here in the center, all automatic, and then you've got your mirror adjustments there on the side, and then behind that's the center console, and it does have more nice trim on top. We have 6 auxiliary switches, and then top insulation, and the top itself is pretty easy to take off with all those little latches, or at least the front part. So this is a 2025 Big Bend. It also has the Black Diamond package. Total MSRP is $50,840. Let's see how the Bronco performs. Bronco Big Bend. I think it's an interesting name they got going on, but this is like the perfect package for most people, because unlike the Sasquatch version, you're gonna get better fuel economy, right? 1822 versus the Sasquatch gets in the teens. Doesn't have as aggressive of a rear end, but I mean 4.46 versus 4.7, and you're moving smaller tires, so it's like this is gonna feel peppy. I mean, we'll see, but I'm sure it's gonna feel peppy enough. But yeah, it saves you so much money going to this package. Several $1,000s. makes it more daily drivable. And I think this has enough capability for most people. Plus, it's got underbody protection. It's got rock sliders. It's got steel bumpers. So it's like, yeah, if you don't end up clearing something that you might have cleared in a Sasquatch, you've got the right kit to be able to handle the impact, right? Now, I will say, having the mirror adjustment in the center is so strange. That's very strange. Yeah, I mean, so far the torque does feel great. Oh, it says manual lumbar. That's kind of cool. I actually kind of prefer manual lumbar to automatic, because the automatic lumbar, power lumbar rather, is very slow. Whereas the manual, you can just quickly twist it in or out. I think it's kind of nice. You can't move it up or down though, I don't think. Yeah, you can't move it up or down. So that's a downside. Yeah, I mean, the power with this feels great. I feel like I've got a good low end. And that's something to note. Axle ratios affect a lot more than I think a lot of people realize with cars. Especially with big SUVs like this. Once you go over, say over a 4 with an axle ratio, that's where things start to feel really peppy off the line, which is great when you have all-terrain tires, just bigger tires in general. Anything in the 3s, it's not bad, but it just doesn't have that same punch. Unless it's high 3s, I guess, but I'd rather have low 4s than high 3s. Now, the nice thing about the Bronco compared to the Wrangler, a little bit more insulated. I mean, the glass isn't actually as thick as the Wranglers nowadays, because the Jeep made the glass thicker on the Wranglers to make it more insulated. But it just seems like the Broncos are a little bit quieter, but it's not like a huge difference. Now, the handling on this with the independent front suspension is quite sharp. It's got good power. It's got good power. Like I said, the low end is quite impressive. So I think that's a plus. Yeah, the torque that this has. It's nice. Smooth too. And again, because it doesn't have huge tires, it's a little bit tighter on road too. You don't have a lift and everything that's gonna make you wallow more. Seeing lots and lots of positives with this and not really any downsides so far. Again, other than people that want massive clearances. And it's comfortable over the bumps too. These shocks do quite well. In summary, I think this is the package for 99% of Bronco people. I think too many people are buying, you know, the big Sasquatch Broncos, and they're never going to use it. Like, be real with yourself. Are you ever going to even take your Bronco off-road? Probably not. And so if you are going to drive it on road, this still has cool looks. And not only does it have cool looks, but it's just, like I said, it's more daily drivable. It's got smaller tires, better fuel economy, it rides well. This person is parked in the worst possible place, I think. Can I squeeze through on the side here? Yeah. I'm good. It always bewilders me when, like, there's all this space this person could sit and they're like, I'm gonna sit right in the middle of where people have to drive through. Anyways, the Bronco drives great. Drives really, really well. I think there's a lot to like about this new Bronco in this version at $50,000. Again, that's before Ford has employee pricing right now, so that's before the, I don't know if employee pricing applies on Broncos, but whatever. Ford's got some deals going on. So you know, you wheel and deal on this a little bit, and that, I mean, for the equipment you're getting, rear locking differential, steel bumpers and all that, this ain't bad at all. This is not bad at all. Let me know your thoughts.